Okay, so when you first sign into Wevideo, I'm pretty sure what you're going to be put into is your dashboard. We're not going to need to use our dashboard. Instead, we're going to go into projects. Now, you should actually not have any projects. Of course, I have many, but you're going to click on New Project down here in the lower right-hand corner, and then you're going to give your project a title, 8 shots. And since I already have one called that, I'm going to say 2, but you're going to just see 8 shots. You're not going to have these options down here, so you're just going to click next. You will give an option to add media from the media that you've already imported, but you probably don't have anything yet, so don't worry about that. Just click next. And then you can either create video or you can hit finish. Either way, I'm going to hit finish, and it'll show you this is our project. Now, you are going to have a project, and then you're going to have new edits. So project isn't actually an edit, so when you create a new edit within the project, you click start, and we're always just going to click a blank edit. There are lots of templates, and if you want to mess around with the different templates, you can certainly do that on your own, but we're just going to be using blank edits. And then we did not name it, so if I go up to my video up here, I'm going to rename it 8 shots. We're always going to want to name the project and our edit, and usually I like to have it be the same name just to keep things easy, and this is where the name of the edit is going to be, the name of the actual edit that we're shooting. So that is where we are going to be, and all of your media will be in My Media, imported from phone. That's where you get it if you imported it from your phone. So I should have shown you the 2 different ways of editing from the phone, but you can also always go to import here, and you can always just drag and drop. So for example, I can just find a video that I have on my desktop, drag it and drop it in there, and then it will actually end up in there. So you can do it from your computer as well. Lots of different ways to import. But now I'm going to show you a little bit about Wevideo. Okay, here's my actual edit of my 8 shots video that I'm going to re-edit a little bit, but I wanted to show a few more things. One is, if you ever find yourself looking at something that looks like this, which is the storyboard mode, this is not what we want. We're never going to want to do it in storyboard mode. This is kind of like for beginners, for babies. So if it looks like this, you're going to go up to your main menu in the upper left-hand corner, click on that, and go to switch to timeline. That's one thing that I have some students and campers say it doesn't look the same. So we're always going to be wanting to be working in timeline. Another thing is up here, we've got a lot of different things, and one thing I want to point out real quick is stock media. We've got a lot of different things we might want to use as far as stock media, and we can put in anything there that we want. As a matter of fact, just to show you how crazy thorough it is, my favorite sport is hockey, as you guys will learn. We've got all sorts of different stuff about hockey. I mean, you can put in anything up there you can imagine, and you'll get some stock footage of that. And the stock footage is of course always professionally shot, really well done and nice looking. But we're going to be going to my video, and we're going to be using mostly video that we shoot. So here's all my video, and actually since I imported from my phone, it was already down in my timeline. So this is the preview window, what we call the preview window here. This is where all of our media is, and this down here is called the timeline. This is where we actually build our project. We're going to do that here. You're going to have a title card, and you're going to find your title card by going up to text. And there are lots of different ways you can have your title come in. It doesn't have to be just a title. It can be anything in the middle of your project, at the end of your project, and you're going to type in whatever you want to put in there. And since I already have mine, I can show you real quick. When you click on a clip and you go up to this box here, this right here is the edit key, and you can, for the text, you go in there and you can type whatever you want. You're going to type in 8 shots. You can have it appear however you want. This is the size, so we can make it larger or smaller. I'm going to click Save Changes. I'm going to go back to My Media, and we're going to want to trim this. I'm going to be editing this so that it looks like the way that your final video should be. This is the edit basically of me telling you how to frame your shots, but your video is just going to be you saying the names of the shots and the piece of information that introduces you to the rest of us. Click on the clip itself. You can trim it, and when you get this little arrow to the left and right, you can trim to the left or the right. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to go to the left because there's no room there, but if I had room, I could trim there. Another thing you can do is use the cut tool there. When you click on the scissors, it cuts your clip into two. So there's two different ways you can edit your video. You can trim and you can also cut. So I'm going to find where I say my name, the type of shot in my name.
I'm going to say our names.
So right there is where I'm going to want to stop. I'm going to trim it there. Unfortunately, with Wevideo, it's not nearly as powerful as many other applications. So I can't really get it as exact as I'd like it while I'm doing this. One thing I also want to point out is here we can zoom in on the timeline, which gives us a much greater control of our editing. So
say our names.
So right there is where I want to stop it. And so right here, what I can do is just click on this scissors icon and then click on this and delete it. And I think this is where I want my shot to begin.
This is an extreme close-up. My name is Zach Wilson.
That's pretty good. So I will go down here and I can then zoom back out, take this clip, put it to the very beginning after the 8 shots title that I have, so that will be my first clip. So here's my second clip, and this is my close-up. I'm going to put it over here, and I'm just clicking and dragging along. Obviously, you're not going to necessarily need to have this green screen behind you, although, again, many of you, I think, might have green screens, and if you want to, you can. You can fool around with it, and I'll show you exactly how to do that later. But so I'm just going to, again, trim this to where I want it. I'm going to want you to actually say the name of all the shots. I do not do that, but I'd like you to say the names of the shots. So I'd like you to say, this is a close-up, I live in, and then say where you live. So I actually don't say the names of the shots. I only say the thing that we're supposed to say. But I'd like you to say the names. What I'm going to do is actually also show you how to add a title in the middle of it. So I'll show you how to do that with the name of the shot. So now I'm going to go up to text. And lots of different ways I can do this. I'm going to put in what's called a lower third. So this is a lower third is obviously on the lower third of the screen. And so this is kind of something you'd put if someone's being interviewed or something. So I just click on this and I drag it down. I want to add it on top of this. So here's another thing we need to know. I'm going to click on this, and this will give me a track to add. I can add more music tracks, or audio tracks, or video tracks. I'm going to add a video track. If I want to add an audio track, just click here. If I want to add a video track, click on that. Click add track, and now I'm going to put it on top because I'm going to want it to appear on top of my actual video. And there it is. Primary text, it says.
Live in Silver Spring.
Secondary text, it says. I don't want either of those things, so I'm going to go up here, click on edit, and for primary text, I'm going to say close up. You could put these title cards on it, whatever kind of title card you'd like. You could use lower thirds, or you could also move it around. But that's what I'm going to be doing because I didn't say the name. I'd like you to say the name, but that's how I'm going to be doing it.
And I'm going to say what my favorite food is.
So here's where I'm going to stop. Again, I'm going to click on this instead of trimming it. That's a much easier way for right now. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to take this. I'm going to drag it over here.
My favorite food is salmon sushi.
And I make a weird noise. I know that. So I'm just going to, again, put my lower third down there. And I'm going to click edit, and I'm going to go to secondary text, and I actually have to hit the space bar, otherwise it will actually say secondary text. And I'm going to right here put medium close-up. Click save changes, and again I'm going to trim this to boom right there.
Favorite book is.
So right here is where I'm going to click on the scissor key again, get rid of the rest. Here's my clip. I'm going to drag it there. You can use arrow keys to go 1 frame at a time. There are 30 frames video to 1 second. So you can use your arrow keys to just go 1 frame at a time. That's 1/30th of a second, but that sometimes is the difference between a good cut and a bad cut. So I don't want that in there.
And.
So I don't want the end. I can see that's where I'm about to start to talk, and so that's where I'm going to split it right there. Click on that scissors icon, and then hit delete.
And for this shot, we're going to talk about who is in our house with us.
Now that I've done all the editing for the video, I'm going to just put a crossfade on here at the end so that I just fade out at the end. That's good. And then I'm going to want to put some music to it. So I'm going to go to audio, and Wevideo has a whole bunch of free music, and there's some premium music. Hey, I'm thinking cheerful. I'm going to turn it way down because Wevideo's, it's always at this hugely insane volume, so I'm going to turn it way down. And anytime you want to turn your volume up or down, all you need to do is click on this volume level. This is probably going to still be too loud. I'll try it at 30%, and then over here I'm going to click this down to 30% also so that it's even, and we'll see what that looks and sounds like.
This is an extreme close-up.
Okay, so that's still too loud, so we're going to need to turn this down a little bit. And we'll try 20%.
This is an extreme close-up.
Still too loud. So I'm going to try maybe 12%. And again, down over this end, I'm going to need to turn it down 12% here as well, so it's consistent. And then I can turn it up or down wherever I want.
This is an extreme close-up. My name is Zach Wilson. I live in Silver Spring.
It's still a little too low, but one of the things I can do also is, if I wanted to, I could go here and edit my volume of a specific clip, and even though it's at 100%, automatically I could actually turn it up. But instead of doing that, I'm just going to turn my music down a little bit. So at 12%, going down to 6%, see what that sounds like. So I'm going to need to do some serious sound adjustments. So I'm actually going to go and do some volume adjustments. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to turn this up to, let's say, 275.
This is an extreme close-up. My name is Zach Wilson.
Okay, that sounds better. Maybe turn the music up to 10%.
This is an extreme close-up. My name is Zach Wilson. I live.
Okay, so I'm going to need to do the same thing. With each clip, I'm probably going to have to turn it up more and more because I get further away from the microphone. So we can see how much we're going to need to adjust that volume. And again, when we click on a clip, go up here to the volume, click on that, and then we can turn it up here. So see what that sounds like, and you're going to probably need to go back and adjust.
My favorite food is salmon sushi.
Probably need to make it louder. Another thing I can do at this point is I'm probably going to want to come here, click on the volume button, and turn it down from 10% to something even smaller because my volume is going to get really low on my, so I turn it down to 6% here. So we can hear, that's the natural audio, can't even hear it.
My favorite band is White Reaper.
So see what it sounds like with 4%.
White Reaper. My favorite.
Whoa. Now we're just going to be cranking it up all the way for all these shots to 500%.
Editing videos. My favorite activity is making and shooting and editing videos. And for this shot, we're going.
That sounds okay. Now we're going to have to go to this one, turn this up. Probably not to 500 because I am close to the mic.
The container, kids. And for this shot, we're going to talk about who is in our house with us.
Okay, so at the end, you're just going to want to put something at the end. So your dynamic message here is what I picked. So I'm going to put those were the 8 shots. Save changes. There we go. And then I'm going to go to the volume. And again, just click on the volume level. Very simple. To give yourself a little, what we would normally call is a keyframe in actual more powerful video options. There again, keyframe, and we're going to drag it down to 0, so it will fade out like this. Maybe actually make the fade out a little later. There we go. And then cut this, get rid of this, and we're going to listen to it for the levels. So before you click finish, listen to the levels to make sure the levels are all good, that nothing's too quiet, nothing's too loud. And then when you're done, you will click finish. Go to HD, because why not? We've got the ability. HD, click export, and then we will export our video.